What up though? Today it's gonna be a quick video on my account challenge for YouTube. I just realized that I haven't even been posting my account challenge for YouTube, so I'm gonna be showing you guys the account challenges, the trades, and I'll give you guys a little bit of insight on what I'm looking for next week. And then yeah, that'll be a pretty good video for the challenge. I'll show you guys the account balance right here, and then boom, we'll get ready to go. Alright, bet. Alright, and we're here. I started 4 minutes in, and the mic wasn't even on this whole time, so I just restarted the video, which is crazy. So, like I said, we're in this account. Came in, started fresh. Account's at 2.437, doing pretty good. And what I did was I started it from May, because if I scroll all the way back down from May 1st, you'll see that this is when I first made the initial deposit, especially when I made that text on Instagram or Discord. I'll be sure to plaster that up on here some way. I'm just gonna have to send those pictures when I'm editing and stuff. But yeah, so from the start, we can go from the bottom, work our way up. We did 3.6 locks, made about 2.421, around 1900 pips, and then 393% return. So when we started, we did a little deposit. I did it go a little bit over 100. I was just factoring in for like the withdrawal, like the fees and stuff. I was just trying to calculate for that. Came in, we started off a little slow. Came in with 10, which isn't bad, because if you realize it was a 5% return. And then when we turned around and tried to trade gold, we got smacked and lost about 22%, which was crazy. So I put a little bit more on, because I was trying to factor from this trade. Even though I lost 40, I was like, $40 is nothing. I could put that back in the market. I put the 40 in the market. I ended up making 24, 1, and then 5. As you can see, this was close to my money back. It was a pretty slow start. When it's a small account, it's very hard to like really do what you want to do with the room. But anyways, Nas coming here, you guys can see after like we're off to a slow start. We're kind of down in percentages, as you guys can see. So around here, this is when I started to pick up the slack. Kind of was losing a lot, was getting frustrated. And then around here, you guys can see with Nas, I ended up making about 17 to 18% return. Then I was over here, I lost a 5%, but then I was able to come back and make a 6 to 7% return, only lose 45%. And then this is when things started to get really juicy around the 7th of May. So it only took a week for me to just be patient and just follow my risk to reward and not trying to flip my account. It's very important. It's good to just follow your plan. Don't try to over leverage because you're not getting the profit you're looking for. Understand, price is still setting itself up. So you're going to get those moves that you're looking for. You just got to be patient. So notice how on May 7th, I ended up making a great return, which was, if we do the math, I'm able to recover about all of my losses just from this trade. Made about 9.5, 10, which is 20% right here, and another 13.8. So that's 33%. With this one, so it's about 36 to 37%. If you go do the math, you see that this is about 5% to 6%, 11, 12, 24, and then that's what, 22. So it's about 40. I've lost about 46%. We're not even counting all these. Just off of this one trade, you guys can see how much of that percentage I took off of these trades. So when price came in next week, I deposited a little bit more because I was getting more confident in my trades. Once I came in with GJ, I tried to trade GJ, got smacked, and I stopped trading GJ because after that, I was just like, I don't even know why I'm doing that. This money that I deposited, that did come from the partnership thing, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But yeah, I just put this in, tried to trade GJ. GJ did not go my way, so I just left GJ alone, started going back to gold. Slow percentages, it was going all right. Tried to trade gold, lost a little bit. And then over time, you guys can see right here, this was when I started to get juicy for me once again. So it took another week. About around the 18th, that's when things started to speed up for me, because this is when these big juicy gold trades happen. Then from here, you guys can see my risk was being managed very strictly. And then once my winners came in very strong, very strong, very strong. And then from here, this is when price was just going very, over time, as you guys can see, we're just compounding now. Because if the risk is not as big as our reward, that means we're compounding. Over time, our strategy is working. And this is why I wanted to just show the profits with the date so you guys can see everything before I start going a little bit in depth. We go into analysis. You guys can see from my analysis, my biggest trade was 625, my worst was 71, best 625, best was from NAS 38, 194% return from gold so far, 69% return from NAS so far. You guys can see the number of trades I've taken about 66 gold trades, 19 NAS trades, and only 4 GJ trades. This is going over like the trades I took in different days. I think the biggest day that I took trades was the 6th, it was 11 trades. Smallest day was the 19th and the 29th, which is just 2 trades. Let's go down here. Number of trades I took 28 buys, over 61 sells. I do like selling the market a lot more, so that makes sense. I like sells. And then as you guys can see here as well, sells I have 190%, as opposed to buys I have 69.82%. Going down here, you guys can see when my trades are from 1 to 15 minutes, I'm actually not making a great return. But if I just wait 15 to as far as a day, I am consistently getting returns, which is very good. If you guys see, the best return is really from 4 to 8 hours. This is something that I talk about in a lot of my videos about how if I'm patient and I remind myself to look at the 4 hour, I actually end up seeing a lot of juicy moves, and that's when I start taking a lot of great percentages. From my winner to loss percentage, you guys can see my loss percentage is -60 compared to my winning percentage, which is 1,162%, which is really good. Which shows you that my win to loss ratio is good. I have a very good profit factor if I was able to calculate that on here, and I'm not going to, but I just know I do. You guys can see the most I've made is gold, 1,600. From NAS I made 131, and then from GJ I lost $7. So as you can see, like I've made a good amount from gold. Gold has been the bread and butter, and gold will continue to be the bread and butter. Really don't have anything else I really need. It kind of shows you with the numbers, days of the week. Yeah, so by week, by month, yeah, so by month is obviously the best. Weekly, I was making around 37%, which is very good. You realize the profit, that's about $365 a week, and then obviously you can always squeeze in a good month from that. So this is just me showing full transparency about my account. These are my best to worst trades. It was so funny. I'm trying to see if I can see it. It was so weird. Yeah, look. So when I have no stop loss, I make 450%. When I have a stop loss, it is a negative 10% return. That's why I think I stress a lot. Mental stop losses are everything. Just having a mental stop loss and having your alerts set is everything. Because when you just have a regular stop loss, it always gets picked into, and it's never confirmation. It's just price hitting an area. That's literally all it is if you really think about when you have your stop loss there. Price is just hitting a certain area. And like I said, it's gonna be a quick video, so I wanted to break down this. I wanted to show you guys everything about my account. I really hope next week can go really good. My goal is really tight. I'm really just trying to see if I can get 4 to 5K by next week. So like I'm already completed with the challenge, and then I can keep going. That's my goal. After I hit 5K, I'm gonna keep going, then probably take a little withdrawal, and then keep going. I'm gonna not spoil too much, but that's my goal with this account so far. So now we go to the charts, and I can show a little insight on NAS. I'm not gonna show my bread and butter on gold just yet. I'm gonna drop that video for my Telegram group. If you guys do want to check that out and catch it early, just join the link. It'll be in the bottom. I appreciate you guys joining the community. We're on the road to 1,000 in the Telegram group. We're on the road to 1,000 on YouTube. I'm trying to show that I can be super consistent because I do want to earn you guys' subscribers. I want to earn you guys' love. But let's go into NAS. Look at NAS is so high, it's looking like US 30. So with NAS, we can start by going to the daily time frame. One thing I do like about NAS is that NAS has broken above, as you guys can see, price made a higher low, continuation, and prices came to make a high. I would like to see price start to retest because that would be a nice week to catch some nice sells back down. And then once we see price show that the change of structure is over, we could start either one, catching in buys, or two, seeing how price reacts to the zone, and we'll go down lower time frames. This is just to simplify where we're at in the market. Once again, we are in a high. Price is in an area where it has a right to retest, so change of structure is something good, and I would like to take that trade, especially since it's all the way from here to here. That's about 700 pips. I would not want to miss that for the world. So go to the 4-hour time frame, reset chart, and one thing I'll do, just because it's NAS, I don't mind removing all my drawings. I usually like to like just turn them off, but for NAS, it's good to remove your drawings and get a refresher because sometimes you're gonna miss something. So now I'm going to a NAS. The first thing I really want to tell myself is I want to ask myself where are the highs in the market? Obviously, we can see that price is bullish. Price is making higher highs, higher lows, 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 over and over and over again. I'm just saying that because I want you guys to get that drilled in your head. It's easy to see that this is a bullish market because we've been making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Notice how when price is not buying, it's making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. But anyways, let's just focus. Reset chart one more time. So with the zone, my bad. So with the zone, like I said, I'm gonna start focusing on marking the highs in the market. I can see that price has a high here. I can see price has a high here. I can see price has a high here. And then I can also see price has a high here. We can mark this high level too if we want to, simply because it did break. But for me, I'd like to just leave it like this, not to have too much mess. Now, the one thing I want to ask myself is, like I said, if I'm in a change of structure, if that's what I'm looking for, that means I'm looking for price to come from 30.35 all the way down to 29,638. So if I go back to the 4-hour, I start telling myself, where's 29,638? So this is where a high level is on the daily time frame. So if I go to the daily time frame, and I clean this up a little bit so I can make it a daily high. I don't know why this is here. Make it a daily high. I'll right click it. It's easier to right click. Am I like, I got like the brain farts, bro. Oh, yeah, see, I knew my computer was just tweaking for a little bit. High, daily high. All right, daily high. We can also say this is a daily high too, in a sense. So we'll also mark this one as a daily high. I might just keep it as a 4-hour high, just so I don't mix too much stuff up. 4-hour high. Boom, and then we'll go down because clearly there's nothing else for us here. Go to the 4-hour. For the 4-hour, we can see that this is a 4-hour high, so we'll mark it. It's good to notice these things. When you go on the lower time frame, you'll forget. You'll sometimes forget. 4-hour high. And same thing here. 4-hour high. So I'm looking for price to retest off of making a new high. One thing I want to tell myself is, one, when price came to make a new high above the daily high, it did retest here, make a new high, retest here, same level, made a new high, then start to retest above here, and now it closed above this level. So notice what has happened. For me, on the 4-hour time frame, price isn't showing any sign that it's ready to be bearish at all, which is okay. Even though the daily time frame is very high, it's okay. What I'm taking into consideration is price did make a high, and we're above this high level, and we're treating this level as a level of support above the 4-hour high. So if the market does open and continues to stay above, I wouldn't mind taking highs and just using quarter points as my TP levels. And you might ask for the quarter points real quick. And for NAS, NAS would go by 250. So every starting from zero, so from 0 to 50, 500, 750, so on and so forth. Those are quarter points, so I would mark those as important quarter point levels for me. And if I was to show those throughout the market, you would see that price does react to those quarter points. Like for example, we'll start from 28, go to 28 to, well, actually we'll start from here so you guys can see a little better. So 250, 500, we'll do 750 right here. Notice how if you look right here, 750. This is just the area being in that quarter point, 750. See it? 750, 750. Right here. Look how price stayed above the quarter point as to when price retested down here, it was under the quarter point. This is just something that I can show you on multiple occasions. I'm just not going to keep repeating myself. But yeah, if I see price staying back above, notice how we're above 340. So we're above a 250 quarter point as well. So if you guys look right here and we was to mark it a little bit cleaner, you guys can see that right here we're above a quarter point. Notice how price has made support above a quarter point. So if price does continue to stay above this quarter point, I will just start. That's what my targets will be. So first will be 3,500, then it'll be 3,750, then so on and so forth. It'll go to 31K. That's the goal because that's how I move a quarter points. If there is no essentially like there's no high level to go out with Nas, I like to do that because that helps. So I'll make sure you guys can hear me. Okay. So, anyways, like I was saying, if we are seeing sells and price is getting tired, it's important to start marking the low levels. But I do want to mark them, make them a little bit noticeable. So for our first low level, we can go here, but I really want to play around with this box simply because if you can tell price tapped into this level to start making a bullish indication. So if price was to start selling, I do see price just breaking past this low level and continuing. Price could mark this level, so I'll just have a mental note of it. Probably put an alert down here. If anything, just so I can have a line that I can see. It'll load up in a second. Just taking a little while. But and then another low level I would like to mark is I like to mark the 638. Once again, I'm just marking low levels in the market, taking consideration of how price can be bearish and what it needs to do. 638 level, you guys can see where sellers, well, where buyers were last at was around here, so 700 area. So we can mark this level right here and make this a, well, notify that where buyers are. And once again, we could do this level here, but we already know that if price does start coming under this 4-hour high, we know the next level is the next 4-hour high because when price is selling, it's selling to the buyers. And as you guys can see from this high level right here, we tapped into buyers. So we don't really need to mark too much up here. So now we'll go to the 1-hour. Notice how in the 1 hour did make a high, and price in a sense has make a higher low. This is a little weird structure right here, so that's why it's okay to wait, and that's why I'm glad that we marked our zones. Now we'll go back to the 4-hour, and it's not too much. I just don't want to go too deep in because it's like we got everything we needed. We need to be patient. We know what we're looking for. If price is staying bullish, we want to see price continue to stay above the 250 quarter point so we can start attacking quarter point levels. If price is not doing that, then I would like to see price come here, make a lower high, break under. If price was to do this for us, I would like to catch that early change of structure, but I know how price is going to need to at least make that new low into like that's why I say that if I could catch the sell under, I do see that price selling all the way back down to here because this is where the buyers are at, which is why I want to take it early. Obviously, it is good to wait for price to make the indication correct, then continue. But I'm already seeing it right here because price shouldn't be doing that if price wanted to be bullish. That's kind of why I want to catch it a little bit early. But anyways, we could catch this trade too as well. And like I said, we could be going to this level right here for a retest, or we could go all the way back down to the daily high level and start reacting to the daily high level, which is realistic. Because if we go to the daily high level, and like I said, because notice how price will always be very erratic. So that's what I try to predict. So price could hit the daily high, then moon all the way through the 4-hour high, stay a little bit, right? And start coming this way up, moon all the way to the 4-hour high, just to stay under. And then price once again makes a new low in the market, retest, and then boom, we could catch another trade on the way back down to the next 4-hour high. But like I said, if price does break this daily high, I don't see this 4-hour high being strong. I do see price reacting to this level. If I was to go back to the daily time frame, you guys can see that if I was to mark here, I could put this level right here as well. You see this alert, this alert level? This is actually where this is where the daily buyers are at. I kind of had a tongue twister. It's where the daily buyers are at, which is actually so funny. Because it's like, in a sense, that alert. It's a good thing I put the alert there, basically. Let me try and mark this. That's all I'm trying to do. Buyers are here. And then I'll put the alert back there. Oh my god, I need to clean that up. Dang. Let's put you up real quick. Sorry, y'all. Okay, just wanted to put daily buyers so I can have a notification that's where the daily buyers are, and then I'll know that this is where 4-hour buyers are. But if you guys look, this is kind of like the 4 and daily hour area, so I don't really need to mark this one once again. But yeah, like I said, look at how all the stuff that I was breaking down on the 1 to 4 hour. If you look at the daily time frame, it's very simple. It looks very simple. It looks very realistic for price to start getting tired, retest, hit this level, come back up, lower high, and then speed up the process by breaking under and not giving us the same thing again. Why would price respect this level? It would just do the same thing I said. It would do the same thing I said for here too. Like, it would come up here, probably trickle a little bit, trick people, and then just continue to back dump to go where these buyers are at. And price then could potentially make a new low. If price does potentially make a new low in the daily time frame, that would be insane. Because then if we zoom out a little bit and probably go to the monthly, we could see that we do need a retest all the way down here, in a sense. So yeah. But yeah, that's really it. That's really it with NAS. Hope you guys did enjoy. Count challenge once again is going really good. Part 2 on decision making and emotional stability is coming soon. I just wanted to get this account challenge up there and get it posted. I'm gonna edit it right now and I'm gonna go post it up. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Love y'all. Stay safe. Peace.